Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome to this gift session. دي واحدة من هدايا كورس الايلتس. لقاء مع حد ما شاء الله هيبقى معانا. هي برغم ان هي داخلة على 26 سنة. She looks very young. You look like 19.
Really?
Although you're turning, yeah, although you're turning
Thank you.
26. And the beautiful thing about Nuran is that she's Egyptian Canadian. وإن شاء الله, good evening Hadir and everybody, and she'll be joining us بإذن الله. ومره تانية باذن الله ان شاء الله يا رب هتنضمي لفريق انجلش فيجن كممتحنه. انا عارف انت شغاله في كذا مكان عشان تصرفي على نفسك في الجامعه، صح الكلام ده ولا لا؟ I know انت شغاله
باريستا. Life in Canada.
Yeah. You work as a barista.
I worked so at some point I was going to school. I had a full-time job at a college in admin, and then after that job I would have another part-time as a barista, so I would be able to provide for myself. And I would have to make make time for school as well.
School اللي هي الجامعة يا جماعة. School means education.
Yeah.
So
not
once
just
again,
madrasa.
so you had how many? So you were a barista in Starbucks, right? Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay. So you work as a barista in Starbucks and admin work. So you had two jobs.
Currently I work at a medical lab. So I get all the COVID tests and everything.
Okay. So you work three jobs, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nuran. You can start right away. It seems that life is hectic and tough. Thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you. You can start
indeed.
right away.
Okay. So I was initially going to start by asking each and everyone to introduce themselves. But with 57 participants, I think that would take a lot of our time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the presentation that I have for you guys. Okay, let me just grab that right now. And before I start, I wanted again to thank everyone for being here on this call. I didn't really expect all these participants. Makes me happy. Also a little nervous, not gonna lie, but we're all here, together through this. Okay, let me start recording now. Whoops, not this. Stop. I want to share my screen. Sorry guys, can anyone tell me how to do that? I actually forgot. Oh, here it is, never mind. Okay. All right, share. Okay, so I'm now sharing my screen. Let me put this to the side. Okay, there we go. So this call is about studying in Canada. I'm here to tell you why you would want to come to Canada and study here, what to expect, what the challenges that I faced myself could be. I don't know who's doing that on the screen, but please stop. And before anything, I just want to say that this is a safe space. Like, I will not tolerate anyone who will be rude or just like any bad behavior here. I will have to ask you to leave the Zoom call, okay? So starting with this part, I already said we're too many people to be doing this. But if you would like to share, maybe you want to put it in the chat, that would be nice. So again, my name is Noran. I am almost 26 years old. And like we already discussed, I work and study here in Canada. I've been here almost half of my life, actually. The other half I was back home in Egypt, just living there. Anyway, so when I came here, I came for school and I pretty much had to like go through so many things that brought me to where I am here today, and I will be sharing everything now. So yeah, here's me telling you about the reality of studying in Canada. Please send me anything if you want me to like pause and repeat what I said in case I was going too fast, okay? Okay, so why do you want to study? Why would you want to study in Canada? Here are some few points that I put from my view. So basically, Canada, like I said, it's a beautiful country. The community here is super welcoming. Coming here to Canada, you're gonna have like a very nice experience. I'm gonna go over all these points again, just like reading them out now. It's the future here, the quality of life, the sightseeing, immigration opportunities, and there's obviously so much more to coming to Canada, like so much more advantages to coming to Canada. And this picture here, this represents the welcoming community, because I chose to put this picture because it also shows, it shows the diversity that I was talking about, because this is actually one of my favorite things about Canada. You would think, or you might think, that you will come here to Canada and everyone's going to be like blonde and like light skin and, you know, just Canadians. But it's really not the case. Canada is a multicultural country. People from all over the world immigrate to Canada. So you will be seeing brown people, you'll be seeing like Black people, you'll be seeing white people, you'll be seeing just people of different race, different colors, different tradition, different culture, different backgrounds. It's just so beautiful to be able to meet the diversity of people and like learn from them about, you know, different cultures and traditions and all that. It's so beautiful to me. It's my favorite thing about Canada. Okay. And then studying in Canada will obviously, because as you're studying, you will must have a job, actually, unless you're super rich and you have the money, all the money that you have to like study and not do work. But you will have to go to work, and that will give you a Canadian work experience. And just like you will be working in the field here, and it will also be Canadian study experience. Yeah, so then also studying in Canada, it will guarantee you a future, either in a career here in Canada or going back home and having a Canadian degree that you can pretty much get like a really good job with. Like most of the times people, you know, hiring back home, I know in Egypt and like in our countries, they look for things like this. And if you have Canadian qualifications, that will obviously like put you from here to like there. The quality of life here is really like, I'm gonna try to like compare it with the life in Egypt, even though I did not really live there that much, but from what I can recall, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so the quality of life, meaning just like the interactions with people, the organization of like just basically everything, and like the cleanliness of the roads. You know, like you're walking around and it's just like everything is organized, everything is good, and like, you know what I mean? Like, let me know if you're losing track of what I'm trying to tell you. But basically, quality of life has a lot of meanings under it. You may know what I'm talking about. Okay. Another thing I love about Canada is the sightseeing. And as you may know, and you can see everywhere on the internet, how beautiful, beautiful Canada is. It's so pretty. Until this day, I still haven't gone to some places. There are some places that I really, really want to visit because they're just so pretty, right? And it's just like the flowers, the gardens, the greens, the landscape, and it's all natural. And I would be walking around the country and you will see like a fox randomly walking on the other side of the road. You'll see deers, you'll see sphinxes. You'll see also like just so many animals roam around on the streets with us. And it's not like a zoo up here, but it's also just like, it reminds you of like Mother Nature, and it connects me personally to like our earth and just nature, because seeing nature everywhere you're going is something really vital for me, to be honest. And it's very calming and it's very soothing, and it's just like subhanallah, you know. Yeah, and then another thing about studying in Canada would be the immigration opportunities, to be of course, obviously, meaning if you come to Canada on a student visa, and you will be eligible as a student to apply for PR, which is permanent residence. So then after applying to permanent resident, you will be able to have a full-time job. Okay, so sorry, let me just go back a little bit because I forgot to say a point. So being a student here on a student visa, you're only allowed to work part-time, which means it's only 20 hours per week for work hours, okay? But if you apply for PR, because you will be eligible as a student on a student visa in Canada to get the permanent residence, and when you do get your PR, that's when you can do full-time job, which will be 40 hours a week. Obviously a better option because you will be needing to make money to be able to survive living in Canada with school, okay? So yeah, so immigration opportunities, pretty sure that's like a major thing why people also come here. I'm gonna move on to my next point. This was a slide that I created just to, you know, point out the diversity, because again, it's my favorite thing about Canada. Okay, now moving to the next point. You want to now come to, you decided you want to do school here. Again, like Dr. Muhammad said, school doesn't necessarily just mean like madrasa. It also means gama and like college. So if you're doing school here, or like you're schooling, basically you're like, you know, like you're going to school here doesn't necessarily mean madrasa. I don't know how to put it in Arabic, but I hope you understand what I mean. So you've decided to do your schooling here in Canada, or continuing school in Canada, and now you want to know how to apply, because I'm not sure how it works back home, but the process here in Canada is specific websites that you will visit and apply to all the programs that you want to from there. So I will have the next screen here. So this screen is basically the website for university applications, okay? So it's called ouac.on.ca, okay? And on this website, you'll be able to apply to universities only, not colleges, because there are differences between a university and a college. I know back in Egypt, they both kind of mean the same thing, but it's not really the same thing, right? So if you want me to send you those links after, I can do that, but we'll do that later. So this is how the page will look like when you're trying to apply for a program for university. And obviously, as a non-Canadian international student, you're gonna have to select this one, the undergrad 105. And when you select that, it's gonna take you to where you can start your application form, right? So this is for universities. And then there's another website for colleges. So this is if you want to apply for a college, not university. I'll say the difference now, like what the difference between the two is right now. But yeah, there are two different sites. I can send those links to you after. And this one's just ontariocolleges.ca. Again, there's gonna be like a drop down here where it says apply. And when you open the website, it's going to say apply, like right here. And then you put the cursor on it. It's going to drop this menu and you just select international applicants. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing really complicated, okay? So here's the difference. It's not that, like, it's just a small thing to know. University here means 4-year studies and a bachelor degree. So it's a minimum of 8 semesters because, you know, each program can have like different number of semesters. And then college is where you get at least 2 semesters. It could be also 8 semesters and still be a college. And that will give you diplomas and certificates. So college is basically for getting a diploma certificate, universities for getting a bachelor's degree, okay? Is there a difference between the two when it comes to career and working? It really depends on the program. Let me say, for example, if you're trying to be an engineer, okay, obviously you're gonna want to do a bachelor degree in whatever engineering program that you want. But say, for example, like your type of like interest is like in like whatever, I don't know, like an interior designer or something, that could be like a 2-year diploma and you will still get good pay in Canada. So what I'm trying to get at is don't just go for university just for the title and for you to be having the bachelor degree, because it really will be a waste of your time, a waste of your energy, waste of your money, and just a waste in general, okay? So unless you're trying to be an engineer or a doctor or like some thing that requires a bachelor's degree, then you can go to university. Otherwise, if you get a diploma or a certificate, you will still be good to like have a nice career here. For example, I have a friend who went to university and he went to Mcmaster University, which is also in Canada, also in Toronto, and he got an aerospace engineer bachelor, okay? And he also did his master's in that. But then after I'm not gonna say wasting, because no education is waste. Everything is like, it's all knowledge, right? We can't call it waste. So after finishing all that in university, he graduated and the demand for aerospace engineering was not that high. So what he did was he went back to school, but this time he went to college. He did 2 semesters of business school. So he got a certificate or a diploma for business school. That's only 1 year. And then he did 2 years of construction, okay, like diploma. So he did them together. So that's 3 years in total in college. And now he's a CEO of a construction company and he makes really good money. And he just did not ever use his aerospace engineering that he got from university. Why I'm saying this is because I know that back home in Egypt, we have this mentality of having only a university bachelor degree because that's the only way you'll mean anything, but it's not the case here in Canada. Here it's more like experience more than the degree, basically. Okay, and also more of your qualifications and all that. It's not just what's on your resume, okay? Or CV, by the way. Resume is a CV, okay? We call it resume in Canada. Anyways, okay. So now how to apply this is just like points. Of course, you will be able to do that when you go on the websites. So you're going to select the international students, okay? You're gonna fill the appropriate application. For your case, it's gonna ask you a couple of questions. You're gonna fill that out. And then when you choose your programs, I think for the college website, it's up to 5 choices of programs. I don't really remember the one for universities, but I'm pretty sure it's like somewhere the same thing. So you choose the programs of interest from from most interest to least. And then you'll get offers, obviously, in a couple of ones. It depends. You can get one offer, you can get three offers. And then you will just accept your offer and go, okay? And then so after you choose your programs, you're gonna submit the documents needed. Documents will be things like transcript and like just, you know, your IELTS test that will be needed for sure. Just things like that. And then you pay the fee for your application and just wait for the offer to be, you know, for you to get an email, hey, you got an offer for this specific blah, blah, blah program, right? Okay, so moving on, after explaining all that, I want to also point out challenges and what to expect here, okay? Studying in Canada. So coming to Canada, things that have to do with life, okay? Let me tell you, me going back to Egypt, that's a big cultural shock for me. So you coming to Canada, you will have to expect that. You will see a different culture, totally different mentality, different lifestyle, different everything. You can't expect having the same culture that you had in Egypt here. It's so different, and trust me, you will get that culture shock and it's not going to be fun. Okay. And obviously being homesick, I don't know if you know this term, but homesick basically means missing back home. Like you'll be here in Canada feeling homesick. You really want to go back to Egypt. And oh my God, like, what is this? Like, oh, my family, oh my God, my friends, like, you know what I mean? You're just really, really going to be missing it. And feeling homesick is sometimes also really not fun. It can get in the way of your studies and just like your goals, like that, whatever you're trying to, it's just going to get in the way sometimes. So try not to, okay? And then next thing that I felt was feeling alienated. So you feel weird, okay? Like, because you just came from a totally different country, literally a different continent. Like this is America, over there is Africa, a whole different continent. You will feel different and you will feel like you're an alien at first, trying to like blend in the culture and blend in, you know, with just here in Canada. I remember when I came to Canada, I was like, I think I was 15 when I came back to Canada. And I remember being in class and I wanted to use the washroom, right? In Canada, we call that washroom. All my life, I've been learning it as bathroom. Bathroom is the American word of saying it. So here they only say washroom. So I'm here like, hey, can I use the bathroom? And I see like the entire, like everyone starts looking at me like I said something weird. And I felt like, what did I say wrong? You know? And I learned after that, it's called washroom. It's just little things like this that will make you feel alienated. You know, like I'm saying this because it could be very little and you will still feel it, you know? And then related to my next point is the vocabulary, just like I said, washroom, bathroom. Yeah, I just confused myself. Resume, CV, and just different words. We have different words here that we use in Canada. So you will have to get used to it. And also another challenge is obviously working, because let me tell you, you cannot expect to come to Canada. Say, for example, you are like a manager back home in Egypt, right? Like you're manager at like, I don't know, like anything, any business, you're a manager, right? coming to Canada, don't expect to come here and still be a manager. You're gonna have to go down, not one step, probably 2 or 3 or probably more, depending. So yeah, you can't like really you can't really expect yourself to be a manager there and a manager here. You have to expect that you'll come to Canada, you might have to start again over. And that was a big challenge too. Next thing is money management, expenses, work and school time management, bills and taxes, all that. You know, I know this can be in many different countries too, but with Canada is like you have so many bills to pay. Like for example, the phone bills in Canada, it's ranked like the highest phone bill in the world. So like I pay like for my service to get like 10 gigabytes of data with like the texting and calling, I pay $90 per month for that. So it's really, really expensive. So some bills can be expensive. So like your internet bill, your phone bill, and then you'll be renting out an apartment or like a space to live in. You're gonna have that rent money to worry about and the utility money to worry about, which is the hydro. By the way, hydro here in Canada is referred to as the electrical bill. We call it hydro.
Nuran, before we got into the details,
Yeah.
your major is in nutrition, right? Nutrition.
Yes. That's actually, I am a nutritionist.
Yeah, nutritionist. Yes. Okay. And you're saying something, ممكن تقول لنا بس شوية عن scholarships. Is there any possibility to tell us more about scholarships as well?
Of course, yes. Okay, sorry, I forgot that point.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that point. I will, let me finish this slide and then I'll talk about the scholarship just so I don't lose my train of thoughts. Thank you so much, Dr. Muhammad, for reminding me. I totally missed that. So yeah, so it's just the money management here is a big challenge. That's what I'm trying to get at. We pay a lot of taxes here, but don't be, alarmed by that because we do have free healthcare and free schools, like schools like from grade 1 to 12. So we do get back in return when it comes to paying the taxes, okay? And then the work-life part, I think we already covered that. You'll be working part-time until you get your PR and be full-time. And then with work-life here, I just wanted to say it might not be like back home. I really don't know how it is in Egypt with work-life, but I want to point out that here attendance to work and punctuality to work, which means basically just showing up, being there on time, leaving on time. And it's just, work life there is very serious. If you're not punctual or you're not attending, they will fire you, okay? So you have to be careful with that. Now, before I move on, let me talk about the scholarships. Scholarships are obviously available to all students, not just Canadians. It depends really on like the competition. Obviously the Canadian students will have like the priority, but it doesn't mean it's impossible for non-Canadians to get a scholarship. It obviously, just like any other scholarship in the world, it depends on your grades in school, and your IELTS test is it's very, very important. Because they will ask you for your English level. So that depends on your grades again, and you can get a scholarship. And how to apply for that is also through the same exact websites that I mentioned before.
Can you show it to us again? Can you please show us the website?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can actually go to the website right now. Let me just go to the websites and show everyone. Whoops. So let's go to the ouac.on.
And for the scholarship, if I take a scholarship and I don't submit my assignments, or I'm not kind of
you're going to lose that scholarship for sure.
And I'll be
so
kicked
the
out from
scholarships
Canada, okay? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, because yes, you will be kicked out from Canada actually, because if you don't, so if you get your scholarship but you're not doing the work, they're expecting a certain GPA in return to that scholarship. So they give you a scholarship and they expect your GPA to be within a certain range. And if you go below that certain range, they will give you a warning.
So are they all fully funded?
Not fully funded. Some scholarships will be 50%, some will be 75%, some will be like 100%. It really depends on how, I'm not sure how they calculate it.
But I have to send out my emails to everyone, to all the universities.
Oh yeah. With emails you can, but most of the time everything is through those two websites that I mentioned. So this one, for example, the undergrad, if I go here, it's gonna, ask you to either browse programs, go to application, how to apply, and then in that application, you will have a part for a scholarship. And then under that, you will obviously say why you can have you will have to write something. Why do you think you can take a scholarship? And it's going to ask you about like your finances and obviously your grades and everything. It's a lot of factors altogether to get the scholarship. But my sister.
أنا سمعت عن حاجة، بس سمعت إن نوران هم بيحبوا قوي يختاروا الناس اللي بيعملوا أعمال خيرية أو أعمال تطوعية للمجتمعات بتاعتهم. I heard that they really appreciate people who do like voluntary work, charity work. مش الناس المأنتخة اللي هم لا بيحلوا ولا بيذاكروا بس عندهم أعذار بس إن هم ما بيذاكروش. الناس الفاشلة دول ما لهمش مكان بره.
Exactly. لأنه to them, it's not like I said, major part, of course, is about the grades, but it's also they need to know that you're not just studying for the sake of just getting the degree and khalas. Like you're actually like doing the volunteer work, you're active in the community, and they need to know that you really deserve this scholarship, because they don't just pick anyone to get that scholarship. So yes, any volunteer work, anything you do, certificates, anything you participate in, you will tell them in the application as well, because they do look at all that. And things like also your activities like swimming and stuff, and being at just joining clubs like sports clubs, they do pay attention to all that. Yes, that's true. Okay, so again, so if you go to the application, I think it's gonna require me to sign in. I already have my stuff there. I'm gonna sign in and just show you how it looks like. Whoops, okay. Yeah, so it's your account, your financial account. Here it's gonna ask you for this stuff. It's asking me for my status in Canada because I chose the international student one, but I'm not. So this is the first time for me seeing this part too, but it's gonna ask you what your status is, study permit, permanent resident, or any of those. And then if you click next, it's just gonna take you through the application. That's gonna take a lot of time if I do that now.
لو أنا قدمت, if I apply, can I get the visa after that? هيبعتوا لك التأشيرة عشان تسافر, صح؟
Yes. So when you apply and you get the offer and you accept it, that's when you get the student visa.
Okay. بالنسبة لطلبة الدكتوراه, هل هنا في أي موقع لطلبة الدكتوراه والماجستير? Not just undergrads, postgrads?
So let's see. Usually everything's on here. Yes, بيكون في postgrad and stuff, continuing education. It should be somewhere.
في medicine اهو. لو medicine MSc والحاجات دي كلها موجودة هنا.
Yes, وهو بيكون في برضه I think أي حاجة continuing education, masters و stuff like things like that, continuing application. Sorry, continuing education. بيكون mostly on the college website, Ontario College website, because there I saw more of them actually, because you will go to the colleges. الcolleges هم اللي بيكون أكتر عندهم the continuing education certificates and little diplomas. بتكون أكتر في colleges than university, but they both equally كلهم equally نفس value basically with those.
Yeah, انت كنت شغاله في presentation جميله جدا. فين في slides? You can continue the slide.
Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah,
so let me just keep that going.
Wow. Okay, so you work on the presentation from the Google Drive, right?
Yeah, I don't use Microsoft anymore because to me, I find it easy with Google because you can share, like sometimes if you're working in groups, you can all like edit together and share and stuff.
I can see that
using
your internet connection is stable 100% in Canada.
Oh yeah.
Because أنا أخذ سلك هنا من السايبر اللي تحت بيتنا. That's all right. That's all right. Go on.
Yeah. ماشي. Okay, so let's move on. There we go. Okay. So this is a slide I wanted to, like I said, I already said it's not rainbows and butterflies up here. And I say up here because, you know, Canada's in the north. It's a very cold country, very cold, not fun. Okay. And coming to Canada, you will have to be prepared mentally because mentally is, it's like being prepared mentally for anything is a vital point. Like it's a very important thing. Because if you're ready in all other ways, but you're not mentally prepared for everything that I talked about here, you will like decline for sure. Like you're gonna have a really hard time. And coming to Canada as a new like comer to Canada, you don't have time to be mentally not stable. You really don't have time for that. Okay. So study tips, I don't really have the tips pointed here, but from my perspective, obviously each and every person has their own different way of studying, right? And like whether you watch videos or like you write down your notes or you type down your notes or you just like, you know, however you like to study. Okay, my preferred way of studying is taking notes during class. Obviously, I like to type my notes because it's just faster for me to type them because, you know, by the time I'm done writing a sentence, the professor would be already in like the third point. I would lose the second point. So basically, I listen to what the professor says and then I paraphrase it in my head. I don't just write what comes out of their mouth because that way you'll never learn anything. So you just hear what they say, paraphrase it in your own words and type it real quick. And then when you go back to those notes, you will remember, like it's just so easy it will be easy to recall everything. And it's just, you know, it's a better method of studying for me. I also like to watch videos and yeah. But like I said, also studying here and finishing your assignments and submitting them on time. And it's just stuff like that that really, really matters here. Like we mentioned in the earlier in the call, no professor is going to go after you to tell you to, you know, finish your assignments. If you don't finish your assignments, you're failing. That's on you. Because let me tell you, not all professors care about you, right? They're only there doing their job. They only want to get paid too, right? So if you're not doing your work, they really don't care if you're not doing your work. So it's just you that will be failing. And again, if you're looking for that scholarship and you're not doing the work, you will lose a scholarship. And when you lose the scholarship, you might also get kicked out of school, which like university or college school. And when you do get kicked out of school here, you're basically going to be illegal in Canada because you're only here in Canada on a study visa, student visa. So if you're not a student anymore, you're basically illegal here and it could be very risky for you. I will not recommend doing something like that, right? And if you do come here and you wish you wish to change the college or university you went to, you have to wait until you get the offer in that other college or university and then change, right? Withdraw and go. Because you just don't want any complications that's just not worth it, right? So yeah, this is basically.
Really, thank you very much, Nuran. I know that we have booked you for 1 hour only and I've been حاجزينك لمدة ساعة.
I actually finished on time though.
I know. بس
I'm
انت
done.
لسه فاضل ربع ساعة في الشغل. الشغل
Yeah.
شغل. Work is work. Okay. We've got
Yeah.
15 minutes left. We know that. Okay. عندي بس سؤال ليك مهم جدا جدا بالنسبة للحياة الجامعية عندكم.
Yeah.
هل التيتشر بيقعد الساعات اكتر من هو قايل لكم عليها؟ يعني مثلا على سبيل المثال في مثلا المحاضرة ساعة ونص، هل ممكن يقعد اكتر من ساعة ونص ولا لا بيلتزم؟
لا بيلتزم لأنه like there's like here it's just in that thing because like I said they're most of them are just there to do their job. That's it. Right? So once the bell is gone, خلاص, everyone's out of class. Most of the time, the professor doesn't even take the full time of the class. So if the class is 2 hours, the lecture is 2 hours, and he finished the material in 1 hour, he's just gonna ask you guys to leave. And he will stay in the like the class if someone wants to stay back with any questions. But this is it.
Okay, can we open the door now for questions?
Yes.
Okay, guys, if you've got any questions, please do write them in the chat box.
Yeah, let me open up the chat now.
Yeah, please open the chat box with Zoom. Safiyuddin has got some questions, so can you please write down the questions in the chat box?
Yeah.
So the first question, with the student visa, the nationality is due only 1 year, right? Nationality.
Where it's with the student visa, the national, no. So student visa is, so basically if you're coming here to get your citizenship, it's not as easy as you think. But people do come here as students, and they get their student visa. And once they get the PR, the permanent residence, and be able to have a full-time job, that's only when they can start applying for their immigration like documents and papers and like their citizenship papers. It does not take a year. It needs a minimum of 1 year on PR, so permanent residence, before you can start applying to be a citizenship. But a citizen, but all that, obviously, you might have to have a lawyer, and it's just like different things that I really don't know much detail about. But this is what I know. You have to get this student visa, PR, and then start applying for your citizenship.
Thank you. إيه أقصى سن تحديد student visa? Do you know what's the maximum age?
Anyone can be a student here. I mean, you go to college and in your same class, there's another person that's like 40 years old next to you, and international student. Anyone can be an international student. There's no limit here.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no age limit. Can take the MS part-time or as UK. There's no part-time courses for international student. Oh, so you mean like the program being part-time? Yes, there are certain programs that you can have part-time, but that also depends on the program. So you will have to search for that, look for it on those also websites. Everything will be provided on the websites. For looking for the programs, you can go to the university website itself. You can find the programs and program descriptions on the websites of the universities or colleges. But to apply, you're going to have to go through those 2 websites that that I will be providing later on. Okay, let me see other questions.
How can we change the visitor visa to study permit? I think that he has to send an email.
Oh, you will have to apply for school, but visitor, it's not that easy to actually, because you never know. Usually a visitor visa is only 3 months. And unless you renew that visa, then you may not know if you were going to get in school or not. But the only way to change that is basically just applying for school and getting an offer. That's the only way you can change a visitor to student, only if you get the offer from university or college. Okay, and then all certificates are named as undergrad programs? No. The undergrad programs are just the programs that would be like for you to start like, you know, a career. But the continuing education programs for like masters and all certificates, they're not called that. And like I said, you're gonna find mostly those certificates and programs on the college website. I had the university website on the screen, that's why we didn't see that. It's all undergrad mostly, but yeah, if you go to the college website, you should be able to view those kind of programs.
هل بعد الماجستير والدكتوراه الحكومة بتديكوا على طول الجنسية؟ Of course no.
No, it doesn't work like that. You have to apply, you have
لازم
to
تقدمي على
be
الأوراق.
eligible for it.
بالظبط. لازم تقدم أوراقك
بالظبط.
عشان ياخدوا منك الشهادة وشوف انت مقيم قد ايه والسجل بتاعك بقالك 4 سنين في كندا، عملت مصيبة، عملت جريمة، يحطوها
بالظبط. وبتعمل ايه اصلا في كندا؟ like if لو انت واحد هتكون عالي على الكونتري هيمشوك، مش هيدوك اصلا citizenship. بس لو انت هنا بتيجي and you're working, you're studying, you're paying your taxes, you're just living like a citizen, then they will give you, then this means that you're not just there. Let me tell you why, because a lot of immigrants, they come to Canada and they get their Canadian citizenship. And not just immigrants, there are also refugees and stuff. And then they just quit their jobs and take assistance from the government. So there is something hina for the country. If you're not employed, the government will assist you until you get a job. So some of these people just come to Canada and they get their citizenship and then they just quit their jobs and just start living on assistance, like the Canadian assistance. And those people, they will go after you like later on, they will go after you if they find out that you've been living in Canada for 3 years just on the government assistance, right? So to answer the question, no, you don't just get your degree here and just become a Canadian. You have to be eligible to become a Canadian. Okay. So how can I change? No, okay. Yeah, Myrna, you're saying everything isn't easy. You know, I'm not trying to bring anyone down here, but I was just being very realistic with how it was. But let me just tell you that from what I learned living in different countries, I've lived in 3 different countries. And from what I learned is that each country will have its challenges, and most of those challenges are probably going to be the same thing. Like I said, having to worry about paying your bills and just, you know, just succeeding in whatever you want to achieve. And yeah, and just like going on with your life. So I was here to tell you, I'm here to tell you that it won't be easy, but I'm also here to tell you that you got this. Okay, if I'm an immigrant, is it easy for me to find opportunities for hospital management jobs, especially? Okay, so hospital management. Canada is very specific and strict when it comes to the medical field. So with anything that has to do with the medical field, you might have to, so hospital management, you take a 1 year, I think it's, and that might of like the Canadian equivalent of what you have there, so you would be able to work at a hospital. But they don't really trust medical, you know, from other countries. You have to kind of تعادل what you took. Okay, is it true finishing? No. Okay, we already finished that. As a geomatics and engineer, is it easy to get a scholarship in Canada? Again, with scholarships, it depends on your grades and everything, and like your community activity in the community, basically. Pathway which accept visitor visa holders. Okay, we already answered this one. Scholarship take a lot of time to process. So the scholarship processing will be the same. It should be the same with your application processing when you get the offer. So first, usually you will get the offer, you accept it, and then if you do get the scholarship, they will send you an email saying hey, congratulations, you got a scholarship of 50% or whatever, how much they'll give you, okay? There is, before I continue the questions, there is a very important point that thankfully came back to my head right now because I did want to talk about this and I don't know why I didn't add it in the PowerPoint, but applying like school fees here. So tuition fees for universities and colleges, okay? When you come here as a student, right? Like I already told you, you come here as a student visa and you can apply for your PR, permanent residence. So when you're a PR, you are eligible to get OSAP. And what is OSAP? OSAP is basically the government assisting you with paying your fees for university. So if you don't have the money on you now, right? Say a year is like $5,000 per year. You don't have that kind of money, right? So you apply for OSAP. The government will pay your fees directly to the school. And it will also give you like a couple $1,000s, maybe like $3,000, $4,000 a month, or every 3 months. I don't remember, but there will be like a few $1,000s for you to be able to survive, pay rent and everything. But don't be so happy with that, because after you're done with your university or college degree, you will be in debt to the government to be paying back all that tuition fees. So it will just assist you being a student to be able to finish your degree and then just pay them back all that money in monthly. Like they will just take it out of your account per month. Also, like how much they take out of your account, that depends on how much the school fees were and all that. Okay, so I will also send you the link for OSAP as well. Okay, getting scholarship high if got its fees or even half of the fees. Is the likelihood of getting a scholarship high if got its fees or even half of the fees? Sorry, I'm having a hard time to understand this question, but I think you mean like if if you're gonna get a higher chance of getting a higher scholarship if you pay half the fees. It doesn't really work like that. Do taxes really reach 30-40% of the income? Yes, if you're getting a lot of money, they will take a lot of taxes. Okay. But you get tax returns as well. So basically you pay the taxes to the government and then you get all those free healthcare stuff. But then by the end of the year or beginning of every year, you file in your tax papers. You'll understand all that stuff when you come here, but it's just like your pay slips, your rent, whatever, anything you paid for, you give it to an accountant, they calculate, and then you get the tax money back. Anything you didn't use, you get it back. So tax money works for healthcare, education, and also for government assistance. Like I said, some people live on government assistance, people just giving, like the government just giving you like $800 a month for assistance. That would be from your taxes too. So if you go back and get a job, all that money you will be owing to the government. You won't be owing the assistance money to the government. It's actually free, but only in the case that you were doing it, on purpose, then it will be a debt for you. Okay, is it hard or competitive to be accepted for a master's degree in a high-ranked university such as Mcmaster? So any university, really, it will be competitive. Of course it will be. I won't lie to you and say it won't, but yeah, you just have to submit what you got and just, hope for the best, pray for the best. Okay, you are to keep good. Thanks, Myrna. What about physical therapy career? So physical physiotherapy career, I don't want to like say things that I don't know. So I'm just gonna say that like something like, so I told you medical, you will have to, get a similar, like some Canadian degree from here for anything medical. with physiotherapy, they may let you work if you have enough experience in physiotherapy, but I'm not quite sure لو هتكونوا like you have to تعادل الشهادات وكل الكلام ده. I'm not sure about physio and massage therapy and all that. I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm a pharmacist. Yeah, I'm trying to like find the good questions. And I hold master's degree. Should I have to study? For a pharmacist, I do have a pharmacist friend that had a master's from Egypt وكانت المفروض تعادل شهادتها here. So yeah, anything that has to do with medical and pharmacy, you will have to. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't see any more questions regarding law study. Oh, law study, I think law everywhere is just law in the own country. Like if you're studying law in Canada, it's going to be law for Canada. If you're studying law in Egypt, it's going to be Egyptian law. So law is basically, yeah, you're going to have to start over here, I guess, with law. You said that business admin is faster in work path than technical bachelor's. Can you give an example? Okay, so I didn't say business administration is faster. That's not what I meant. But what I was trying to say that, because I know people back home in Egypt, they think that holding a bachelor's degree is the only way to get any job or like to have a successful career. And I just want to like kind of like break that mentality, because it's not like this in Canada. It's the story that I said before. I had a friend who did aerospace engineering and he got a master's degree in aerospace engineer. So that's like a really, really nice bachelor degree. Like that's crazy, right? But the job demand wasn't really there. So he had to go back to school because he wanted to start his own business. He did business school, a business certificate for a year, and he just chose to do construction for 2 years, a 2-year diploma in construction work. And now he's a CEO in construction. So university is for basically like if you want to do something that you can only get through university and not college, then go for university. But if you can do something in college and would be equivalent, then go to college. For example, instead of paying more money and like more of your time and more of your just energy and everything to do business school as a bachelor of business, why not just do a 2-year diploma in business and be the same thing, right? That's what I mean. So with that, that's what I meant by you can go for college, you can go for university. The word diploma here doesn't make you any less like qualified from someone with a bachelor's, right? It's your experience, you're willing to work, and your passion, and it's so many things other than what's on your resume or CV. Sorry, I keep saying resume. So yeah, in terms of finding opportunity, sorry, I couldn't understand the last question by Gada. Is it the same case as hospital management in terms of finding opportunity? I'm not sure what agribusiness is, to be honest, if you can elaborate what that means. But yeah, I think I covered that already with college and university stuff. Oh, for farm management, I think food here, quality is also a big thing. So I'm not sure if you're gonna have to do another course here, but I don't think you will have to start over, probably just a food certificate or something and you'll be okay. Because there are Canadian standards. Each country has their own standards with farming and food. Okay, there are pathway institutes which accept visitor visa holders and they can change to study permit. Is this right? So I'm not sure about those agencies or institutions, but like I said, to change your visa from a visitor to study, you will have to be provided an offer for school to be able to be on a student visa. Because again, you can't get, it's just like getting a work visa, right? Like you won't get a work visa unless someone actually hired you for a job, right? So if you're, yeah, so it's the same thing for school. You have to get the offer so you can get the student visa. What about applying co-op university programs to get hired after finishing master's degree? Of course, co-op is a major thing here in Canada, and a lot of internships are paid. It depends where you go. So basically, co-op here works, works in two ways. It's either you make your university choose the co-op for you and like just link you and match you and put you somewhere, or you go out, do your job search and find the job you want, and then you take, you tell them that you're going there for co-op, and it's up to the place to be like, okay, we're gonna pay you for this, or you're not gonna get paid for this. So it's up to you to accept the offer. And yeah, each and every program here has, not each and every, I'm not going to, I don't want to say something that's not right, but most programs, especially with college and second career colleges, they will provide internships because, that's the only way to be having Canadian experience, right? Because you're going to be here as a non-Canadian, you will be studying, but you still won't have any Canadian experience. So that's a great way to get it. And they do provide it. And most of it is paid internships. So yes, you will have the co-op to get hired after finishing. So basically, sometimes those co-op and internships, either after your co-op like semesters or internship like hours are done, if the company likes you, they're going to keep you. If the company doesn't like you, they're just going to tell you, so you really have to do your best effort. And in Canada, employers do have the right to just like let you go, but I don't want to scare you. They don't usually do that. People here are super nice. And if they like you, you're going to stay. Chances of staying at a job is high. If you're not obviously, crossing the lines of like discrimination or like, talking about political stuff at the office or whatever job you're doing. And it's just, being friendly in the environment, doing your job. And that's all you need to do for a manager to keep you. And that's it. I think these were mostly all the questions. I think, if I'm not wrong, I did go through the questions. Yeah, I don't know if anyone has any more questions, but I will stay here probably for a couple more minutes. I think 5 more minutes, just in case anyone else has a question, and then I'll dip, I'll leave. If you want to ask me stuff about Canada, and yeah, the weather here right now is 10 degrees. What day is it today? It's October 16th. I saw the weather. Egypt there is like what, 29 now? Oh my God, I'm so jealous. Look at me wearing a jacket in my own home because of how it's not cold. Actually, it's only 10 degrees. It's not that cold. I'm actually exaggerating, but it's annoying that it's still, October and it's cold, like we're still in October. It's fall right now and it's like raining every day. Yesterday we had a thunderstorm and a hurricane, and it's just crazy.
Nuran, when are you coming to Egypt?
So I will be coming to Egypt next week. No, the week after. So in 2 weeks, I will be there on the 29th of October. Okay. Kind of excited, kind of stressed. Maybe you guys can tell me about what to expect working in Egypt.
Yeah, no, everything is beautiful in Egypt. Everything is getting cheaper and cheaper every day. So
oh, yeah?
I want to,
I hear sarcasm. I smell sarcasm in those words.
I'm going to use the same idiom that you use about Canada. It's not rainbows and butterflies here.
Yeah.
Not rainbows and butterflies here in Egypt. So I don't want you to have kind of rosy dreams. I know that you do miss your parents and you miss your family.
Yes.
But honestly speaking, life is tough,
Yeah.
But you've got to be strong enough.
And it's obviously tough everywhere.
Yeah. So once again, no, it's roasting. It's not just tough. It's roasting here in Egypt. Yeah. You're grilled. The grilling. Yeah, you're grilled.
I like to keep a positive mentality though. So
Okay.
We all got this. I got this. You guys got this.
Yeah.
We all got this.
I know that, and many jobs here are physically demanding and mentally demanding as well. So you've got to be careful. Okay, Nuran, I want to tell you that the moment you land in Egypt, please give me a buzz. Okay. And kindly just give me a call, drop me a line anytime you like, and we'll be honored to have you on board with us as a speaking examiner and a consultant. I know that you'll go back to Canada after that. And I know that life is,
I don't know how long.
I know life is so tough in Canada, I know, and you've been alone on your own for a long time. Thank you once again.
I've been living alone for 3 years. I was still able to do it. So if I'm able to do it, anyone can do it, you know?
How old are you? You're 26.
Yeah, I'm still turning 26 in March.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Please.
Okay, thank you all. And I just wanted to ask you one more question. Where do you want me to share the links that I said I was going to share?
Yeah, just send them to me and I'll forward them to the WhatsApp groups.
Okay, sounds good. Okay,
cheers.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I don't know.